Peppers are dramatic little divas. Give them what they want, and they'll shower you with glossy fruit. Miss a beat, and they sulk, drop blossoms, and stall. If your plants are stuck, leggy, or flowering with nothing to show for it, the culprit is often feeding, either the wrong kind, the wrong time, or the wrong amount. Let's fix the biggest pepper feeding mistake so you can turn those moody plants into harvest machines. The first mistake is drowning peppers in nitrogen all season. Early on, a touch of nitrogen helps them build leaves and roots, but too much creates lush, dark foliage and almost no flowers. If your plants look like jungle umbrellas with zero fruit, you've overfed the leaf engine. Shift the balance as soon as buds appear. Dial down nitrogen and favor phosphorus and potassium to support flowering, fruit set, and flavor. A simple way is to top dress with mature compost or vermicompost and supplement with a bloom-leaning organic feed. Think slow, steady, and balanced, not green at all costs. The second mistake is forgetting that peppers change appetites as they grow. Seedlings and recently transplanted peppers need very light feeding, just enough to avoid stress, while they establish. Heavy feeding too early can burn tender roots and cause weird crinkled growth. Once plants hit the bud and branch stage, the focus flips. They need more phosphorus for flowers and potassium for strong cell walls, color, and sweetness. Feed lightly every 10 to 14 days during bloom and early fruiting, then extend to every 2 to 3 weeks, as plants carry multiple sets of fruit. If you prefer organics, fish hydrolysate and kelp at mild dilution are gentle, effective, and microbe-friendly. Third, many gardeners chase calcium fixes the wrong way. Blossom end rot on peppers and tomatoes isn't usually a lack of calcium in the soil. It's a water transport problem that prevents calcium from reaching developing fruit. Crushed eggshells sprinkled at the surface won't rescue a plant in crisis. They release calcium too slowly. The real fix is consistent moisture, an even soil temperature, and a living mulch. Keep soil uniformly damp, not soggy. Add a 5 to 8 centimeter layer of shredded leaves or straw to buffer swings, and avoid letting containers dry to dust between waterings. If your soil truly lacks calcium, incorporate gypsum before planting or use a balanced organic amendment. Do it early, not reactively. Mistake number 4 is trying to solve every symptom with Epsom salt. Magnesium deficiency does happen, usually seen as interveinal yellowing on older leaves while veins stay green. But routine Epsom baths can actually crowd out calcium and potassium uptake, making things worse. Only use magnesium when deficiency is clear and your soil isn't already high in salts. If you're not sure, honestly, a small test on one plant tells you more than a whole season of guessing. Number 5 is soil pH neglect. Peppers prefer a slightly acidic window, about 6.2 to 6.8. Outside that range, nutrients you've paid for simply lock up. If your leaves yellow despite feeding or growth stays stunted, check pH before you throw more fertilizer at the problem. In containers, use a quality mix labeled for vegetables and refresh a portion each season. In beds, a modest annual top-up of compost plus a pH check keeps the buffet open for roots. The sixth mistake is feeding plants while starving the soil. Peppers are happiest in living soil, where microbes pre-digest organic matter into a buffet of plant-ready compounds. A thin ring of vermicompost around the drip line, a sprinkle of rock dust if your soil is light on trace minerals, and a regular mulch of shredded leaves create a self-replenishing pantry. Add mycorrhizal inoculant at transplant so roots can partner with fungi. That alliance expands the root's reach for water and phosphorus right when peppers need it most. Seventh, salt buildup in containers quietly sabotages peppers. Even organic liquids can accumulate, especially in hot, windy weather when you water often. If leaf tips brown or plants look burned despite adequate moisture, leach your pot's water deeply until about 1/5 to 1/3 of the volume runs out the bottom, then repeat once more. Do this every few weeks during peak heat, and avoid fertilizing on days when the potting mix is bone dry. Pre-moisten first to protect roots. The eighth mistake is one big meal instead of small frequent snacks. Peppers respond beautifully to modest regular feedings. Overloading the soil with a heavy dose once a month can shock roots and spike salts. Aim for diluted, consistent applications during active growth. If you're brewing compost tea, use it fresh as a gentle drench or foliar mist at dawn. If you're using granular organics, scratch in a light dose and water well. Ninth, raw manures or unfinished compost can hijack nitrogen while they finish decomposing, causing pale leaves and stalled growth. Keep anything hot out of pepper beds unless it's fully matured. If you want the benefits of manures, use well-aged composted manure or side dress weeks ahead of flowering, so biology has time to do its work. Finally, timing and water rhythms make or break nutrient uptake. Feed after a thorough watering, not before. Nutrients ride with water into the root zone, and evenly moist soil moves them predictably. Letting peppers dry hard and then flooding them creates feast and famine cycles that drop blossoms and twist new leaves. In the ground, a deep soak 2 to 3 times a week beats a daily sprinkle. In containers, water when the top 2 to 3 centimeters are dry and the pot feels noticeably lighter. Pair that routine with morning feedings, and you'll see steadier growth, tighter internodes, and blossoms that stick. Here's your simple rescue plan. Steady moisture under mulch, modest nitrogen, early bloom support as buds form living soil always, and pH in range. Watch the plant's signals. Dark, leafy and flowerless means too much nitrogen. Pale with green veins points to magnesium. Stress leathery, blackened fruit ends call for moisture consistency, not calcium pills. When you feed the soil and tune the timing, peppers repay you with armfuls of fruit. If this helped you decode what your peppers have been trying to tell you, subscribe to Gentle Herb Living and tap the bell so you never miss a harvest-boosting tip. Share this with a pepper-loving friend and let's grow healthier, happier gardens together.